everyone. Welcome to Off the Charts, episode 222. So today we've got a fun episode for you guys here. It's the Kansas connection, as you can see. So first of all, to my, I'm going to say there from New suburbs of New Orleans or USA. Kevin, how's it going?
Hey, it's good. Kevin from Sonic Boom TV. I live in Metairie, Louisiana, which is a suburb of New Orleans.
I know. I just didn't want to give your address away.
Oh, well, you know,
on live
if
TV.
anybody can't stalk me, that's okay.
Okay, I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to go vertical from New Zealand, wearing the red shirt. Keith, how's it going?
You're good. Yeah, I'm Keith, and my channel's Tech from Down Under.
Perfect.
Yep.
And below me here, Steve from
Rock and Metal Invasion. How you going?
There you go. Good. So today's episode is going to be Rockstar Dinner Party. Something a little bit different that we're going to try out here. So I'm going to get my friend Steve here to explain it a little bit more, since it was his idea. So why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Dan. So basically the idea here is that you have the chance to invite any rock star to your house for, we're calling it dinner, a dinner party, whatever you consider a dinner party to be. It might not be any food. It might just be a few drinks, it might just be sitting around having a chat, whatever, but they're coming around to your place and you're going to sort of entertain them or be entertained by them at your house. So you can choose four. And now the thing is, though, they have to be alive. So Jimmy, you might think Jimi Hendrix would be great to come around, but he's dead, so you can't invite him.
unless you've put a table set for an urn or something.
Yeah. So you actually got to be living and breathing, and also the rock star comes to your place as they are now. So you can't get the 1985 version of this person. You get them as pretty much roughly as they are now. So it's all a bit of fun. So yeah, that's the idea. Concept.
Perfect. All right. Well, I have no idea. Like I said, I think we've got each a version of what the rules are. So we'll have fun for this one here. So we'll go one choice each, and then we'll get to the until we get to the fourth our fourth guest here. So since it's your idea here, Mr. Steve, why don't you start us off here with who is your first guest and why?
Okay, all right. Now this one is pretty much a given for me, and I think Dan knows who it is. So my first guest, whether he turns up or not, and then whether if he does turn up, he then asks for lots of money for his appearance, is Vinnie Vincent. So Vinnie Vincent was my channel named after him, Vinnie Vincent Invasion. I love Vinnie Vincent Invasion. I love his guitar work. Love the work he did with Kiss as well. He would be an interesting guest because obviously he has a reputation. It's not necessarily a positive one these days. As a musician, for back in the day, he was fantastic. I don't know if people are sure whether he has the abilities that he used to have. He's done some playing from time to time, but he's promised lots of stuff and hasn't quite really followed through and delivered yet. So that's part of the reason I'm inviting him around, just to see, is he really an asshole? Or is he just misunderstood?
Do you think he'll show up?
Will he turn up? Yeah, will he turn up? And if he does turn up, will I get a big bill at the end?
Exactly. Will he charge you for it too? Wow. Okay. I talked with Steve privately, and I was like, that was one that I guessed, and I think I got the same reasons there. But good choice, funny choice.
Thank you.
All right, let's stay in New Zealand and go with what Keith has chosen here.
Okay, I sort of did a mental list of who I'd like, but when I was going through the list, I looked at the average age, and they were all in their like 70s and things like that. And I was thinking, I'm as I get older each year, my wife says to me, each year you get grumpier and grumpier. And so I was thinking that if I did invite some of these guys, I can imagine like Jimmy Page or, like Robert Plant or, like Paul McCartney coming around. But it wouldn't be, I don't think it'd be fun. I think they'd be grumpy old guys, really. And even like Paul McCartney, he won't sign autographs anymore. He does things like that. He's saying, oh, which I think kind of stinks, But and so it'd be great to have these guys in my head, but I don't think it would be much fun. Like, I don't think they'd sign. I just want them there as a star to sign my stuff, but I don't think it'd be a fun evening. Don't think that I'd ask them the wrong questions for one thing, and then I'd end up with wine being thrown in my face or something. I'd ask Jimmy Page if he stole any of his riffs from, other bands like Lucifer's Friend and things like that, and they'd probably insult him. They'd end up leaving. So, I've got through this whole scenario in my head. So what I decided to do was just get my nerd one out of the way. The guy that is my favorite, and I just like to spend time with, even just looking and saying, he's in my house. Like Steve's got his Vinnie Vincent. I'm a huge Bruce Springsteen fan, and if he came around, I think that'd be awesome. He's actually pretty good to his fans, from what I hear, and I think it's because he's like a massive music fan himself, especially when he started off, and he tried to jump up when he was young. First started off, he tried to jump over the fence at Graceland to try and meet Elvis, and all the security stopped him and like that. He wanted to give Elvis one of his songs called I think it was Fire, and that ended up being a massive hit for the Pointer Sisters. He gave it to the Pointer Sisters instead.
Oh, there you go.
I think he'd be like a great dinner guest, and as a person, I think he's a pretty awesome guy. So yeah, and I want to get it, and I'm sure he'd sign all my records and things like that and keep me happy. So yeah, my first choice would be probably my biggest one. That
I got a feeling that he would actually go.
I think he would. Yeah.
There's I forget his name. There's a UK. It's like a David Letterman or a Conan O'Brien talk show host in the UK. Graham Norton.
Yeah.
Do you ever see his when Bruce Springsteen was on Graham Norton and the little kid who met him at the cinema?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, he went home with
that's a great story.
That is a great story.
Of course, he brought him to his house, and Mom fixed dinner and all that. So I thought that was a great story. So that's why I'm thinking, yes, he would probably go and do it for you. Yeah.
So all my picks are like fun ones, actually people that I think would be fun, and you'd have a good conversation and you have a fun time. So.
There you go. All right. Good choice. All right, Mr. Kevin.
Okay, mine is a little different than like my heroes or anything like that. I mean, they're kind of heroes, I guess, but I'm bringing these four people together to solve a problem and to create a problem. So, and they will not know what the problem is that's going to be created until the end. So, first person is old James Hetfield of Metallica. We're bringing him in, and when he gets there, of course, I'll ask him all the tales of what was it like to be in the biggest band in the world, even before anybody knew that they were going to be the biggest band in the world. And what is it like now that their older fans don't necessarily like them anymore, and just try to pick his brain a little bit on what's it like to go from, this underground band to the biggest band in the world and kind of back again.
All right.
So James Hetfield will be my first.
Wow. Is that from the last album, by the way?
That's from 72 Seasons.
Okay.
I was trying to find pictures of these people, and I found two in records with big pictures, one with a small picture and one's an old picture. So
I have different props here, but yeah.
That's a good picture. That's a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks really old in that picture, though.
I know. That's what I was like thinking. I was like,
if you buy that album, they all look really old. And I mean, they're I guess they're in their 60s, right? But they look old. The pictures make them look old. even Robert Trujillo, which is younger than them, he looked old. So
All
maybe
right.
that was the point.
It's yeah, age comes to everybody, yeah. All right, good choice. Okay, so for mine, I'm from Canada, so and I'm French, so I say when I say Rockstar dinner, I mean supper. So later on in the evening there, like around 5 or 6 when you have supper. So my first guest is the exception to to the rule where I'm actually gonna go spend the afternoon with this rock star doing something, and then we're gonna come back to my place for having supper where all the other ones are gonna meet up. So my first guest, which I'm gonna be spending the afternoon with, and this is on my bucket list to do one day, which will probably
Lady
never happen.
Gaga.
I want to have a round of golf with Alice Cooper because I've been into golf of late, and I've met him once. Great guy, super nice, but one of my bucket lists is actually to have a round of golf with Alice Cooper. He's on the Golf Channel, like so. So that's step one of my day. So during the afternoon, or early in the morning till the afternoon, will be spent with Alice Cooper, and then to be continued.
Wow.
We're going to be on our way home to meet other people that are going to be there, and you'll find out soon. So first one is a round of golf with Alice Cooper.
I actually read that book, and you'd think it'd be all about his Rockstar anecdotes. A good chunk of that book's just about golf and his
It's
proving his
one
golf
chapter
swing.
golf, one chapter Rockstar, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It made
But
me
I
want to go
even-
play golf for like a good 12 hours.
I'm not into golf, but I actually found the golf parts quite interesting.
Exactly. Yeah,
That-
they're fun.
About how he used to scam other players when he did rounds. He'd have a really poor first few shots, and then he'd start betting on each hole. And then once they thought he wasn't a very good player because he's just a rock star, then he'd reel them in and up the bet, so he'd make a lot of money on each hole.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good book.
Yeah.
It's a good book.
He's on my my bucket list for I'd love to go play golf with him one day. Like for this episode, and of course in real life also. So there you go.
Wow.
All right. Rock star number 2, Mr. Steve.
Yeah, all right. Well, you're kind of adding something in there, Dan, but it's okay. I'll let you do the golf thing. That's fine. Now my second one, actually, Dan, this might be he might be coming to your dinner party as well, your supper as well. So hopefully we don't double book him. But I'm going for Kip Winger. So yeah.
We're not. We don't have a match.
We're not? Okay, cool. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's such a versatile musician, and such a great musician. And I really enjoyed the latest album. And, there's a few things I like to talk to him about. I like to ask him what happened with the coming to New Zealand last year. Didn't happen. Was supposed to happen. So that's maybe one way I can get him over here to New Zealand. He used to date Rachel Hunter, who's a model from New Zealand. Sort of maybe get some inside story on that. Maybe I think because I think she left him for Rod Stewart, but that's pretty low on my priority list of questions, I have to say. It's what happened with Beavis and Butthead and all that kind of stuff. It's probably questions he's been asked a number of times and has answered before. But yeah, just sort of I guess what the '90s were like for him, and I know he had a bit of a rough time. His wife died in a car accident in the mid '90s, something like that, which must have been a really terrible experience. So he's actually had a bit of a tough time at times, but he's always comes off to me like a really nice guy. Like in interviews, he is a great interview, and it just seems like a cool guy. And so I think he'd be great to have at the party. I think he'd unlike you got to counter the Vinnie Vincent effect. So I think unlike Vinnie, I think he'll be not again. I don't know for sure, but and I don't know for sure about Kip either. But I have a feeling like Kip would be quite a pleasant guest to have. So have a nice chat, and So he's my number 2 choice. But it's in no particular order. Yeah.
By the way, I felt more bad for you for Winger not going to New Zealand than Winger not coming to Canada. Like I
Oh,
was
thank
that
you. Thank you,
upset.
Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I got fairly excited about it, and it's not like bands like Winger come here very often. So, and we did quite a lot last year, like watching, like we did shows where we watched the videos, and there was like a lot of excitement about the new album, and then
Yeah.
the new album ended up being really good, and I really like it. I know it was your top album last year, Dan, so definitely be one of my top from last year. So that's a shame, but maybe one day, but I doubt it.
You never know. Never say never.
Never know.
Good choice. All right, Mr. Keith, number 2.
All right. My second choice, I think you guys might be a bit surprised about this choice. But, like I was saying about the old guys inviting them around, and I don't want it to be all men. So this singer is a 31-year-old female singer. And Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
I know.
I can't wait to hear why.
Okay, I will justify this. But in America, I've heard this expression, and I think there was a cartoon movie called Sausage Party. So you don't want to come to a party and it's all guys.
Yeah, you stole my joke for my 4th man.
Oh, okay.
Will she come in like a wrecking ball?
Yes, yeah. She's quite fun. That's what I was thinking. Should be a lot of fun, and she'd liven up the place. Quite a bit with her chat and sort of thing. If you invited some of these young female singers, I don't know, Taylor Swift, whatever, Dua Lipa, whatever, I think they'd just be looking at their phones like this, be going like this. Oh yeah, okay, like this, but scrolling through the messages on the phone. Is it time to go yet? But I think she'd like enjoy the in the conversation, and I'd have she should keep things light, keep things fun, which is the main reason why I ask her. And I don't know if you've ever heard this album, Plastic Hearts. It's actually a pretty rocking album, and it's got it's got Billy Idol on it, and she's got a good voice. She's actually got a really good voice, and she's always been asked to go in like concerts, random concerts. Can you come up and sing a tune on someone's show? And my wife is also a big Dolly Parton fan, so I was sort of tossing between this and Dolly Parton. You might think, no, she's not a rock singer. She's a country singer. You're wrong there, but she's actually inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just recently. And of course, she did that that Rockstar album, which I'm not.
Album,
I'm not really interested in hearing. But my wife would be thrilled if Dolly Parton came to her house. But I think she'd just be a good one to invite round. And she wears some interesting clothes and things, and it's like, yeah.
You can ask her about Billy Ray Cyrus as well.
Yeah. Well, maybe she'll take me out. Maybe she'll take me out to like a nice restaurant or something, and like that, and people go, "Oh, look, there's Miley Cyrus, and look, there's her dad, Billy Ray Cyrus." The guy, Billy Ray Cyrus. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's. I don't know. Do people confuse you for Billy Ray Cyrus sometimes?
No. But they might think,
You're missing a lot of hair here.
Yeah, I'll get extensions. I'll get hair extensions.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Just to keep females in the mix.
All right.
Yeah, good choice. Yeah. It's true.
Interesting choice. Yes, I was not expecting that.
No, I don't think you would. No.
All right, Kevin, what do you got for your second?
All right. So my next one, the next person to come to the party will be Megadeth's Dave Mustaine.
Ooh.
That's the old guy, Dave Mustaine. And so when Dave gets there, of course, he sees his old buddy sitting there, and I say, James, Dave, you guys have some things that you need to work out. You've been, at each other for years, and you've kind of reconciled a little bit, but today we're going to fix it all. So I asked Dave a few questions about, how was it that, when he was put out of Metallica, how did he start over and get his close to, the same type of band with Megadeth and his rise to stardom, get all that out. And then I have them sit there and work out their personal issues until they are good with each other. And they cannot get up from the table until they are reconciled.
That could be one hell of a long supper.
This may go on for a while, but it has to be done.
All right.
I'm saving heavy metal for everyone.
All right.
For now.
I could just see Dave Mustaine's are you gonna tell me he was gonna be here?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And I know he's gonna bring up the whole thing where all the songs were his, but we're gonna work that out. It's all gonna be worked out.
All right. Now I'm curious to see who your last two are now, but
if you're sensing a theme, maybe there's a theme.
All right. Okay. So my second one here, Alice Cooper and I have just finished our round of golf. We're like heading back home on a nice hot summer day. What do you like to do on a nice hot summer day when you're outside? You like to have a couple of drinks, right? Who is the best rock star that is known for all his drinks? I'm going to go with Sammy Hagar, the king of Cabo with his tequila. And I'm going to put him in charge of bartender. Like, I am a sucker for buying Rockstar products, which is booze, hot sauces, or whatnot. I have his Cabo tequila, not currently because I finished the bottle there, but I once organized a trip to Las Vegas just so I can go to Cabo Wabo Cantina, just so I can hopefully meet him by chance. Missed him by apparently 2 weeks, by the way. So he's on my also on my. I have my 5 favorite bands. He's the only one that's missing with me meeting them in person. So that's another reason here. So, mind you, I know Alice Cooper doesn't drink anymore. He'll make him some other non-alcoholic drink here. But I've asked Sammy Hagar to join my Rockstar dinner, supper, whatever, to be in charge of alcohol, so he can. He's got some great tequila. He's also got some rum now. He'll tell you about it. Don't worry about it. So there you go. So when you have a nice dinner party, you need some booze. Here's Sammy to the rescue with some booze here with loads and loads of margaritas here. There you go. That's my second one.
Interesting.
All right.
Good choice.
Okay. Number 3.
More from that.
Steve.
Yeah, so number 3 for me, so talking about coming around for some drinks. So this guest, he used to like to drink quite a few beers, and has always come off as like a good fun sort of a guy. But yeah, he doesn't drink anymore, but he still comes off in interviews like he's a bit of a joker. He's one of my favorite guitar players. I mean, there's a few. I don't know if he's my number one, but he's up there, probably top 5. And he's been around the scene for quite some time now and played with some big names, but initially got his break playing with Ozzy Osbourne. And that still doesn't necessarily give it away because it could be a couple of people. But
It's not Randy Rhoads.
It's not Randy Rhoads. Yeah, true.
Mm.
Yeah. No, it's Zakk Wylde. So this is Black Label Society, of course.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, Zakk Wylde. But of course, now he's playing for Pantera, which I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of that whole reunion thing. But anyway, so I could talk to him about that as well. But yeah, his work with Ozzy, one of my favorite Ozzy, if not my favorite Ozzy album is, it's not my favorite, probably it's probably number 2, but the first album he did, No Rest for the Wicked with Ozzy, I really love that album. But then all the work he's stuck around with Ozzy for a long time, and put out some great music with Ozzy. So, and then I really love the Black Label Society. So when you go through it, a lot of great music. And yeah, he's playing with Pantera now. He's also done Zach Sabbath. I think where he's doing
That's
Sabbath songs.
currently happening. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It's okay, but yeah, definitely. Black Label and the Aussie stuff is awesome stuff. So and yeah, just a fantastic guitar player. I know some people don't necessarily like all the squealing and stuff that he does with his guitar, but I just think he's awesome. And uh, yeah, he'd be one guy as well that I'd really love to see in concert. Like I said, he comes off really like quite a friendly sort of a guy. I know that Martin Popoff was talking the other day about like one of his on one of his shows about like one of his favorite interviews, and he said, "Oh, one of the favorite people to interview you, grounded in his drinking days." Was Zach Wild. He had a few beers, and he was always great to talk to. So yeah, I think it would be fun, and yeah, just got a lot of respect for him as a musician and what he's achieved. So yeah, go with Zach Wild.
Good. Did you ever see his roast, by the way?
No, I didn't actually. No.
There's I forget which comedian, but it goes, "How the hell do you get fired from Ozzy Osbourne band for drinking too much?" That was
Yeah,
the,
you're right.
that was good. I did see him last summer with Black Label. I was not expecting. I've never heard Black Label, and I was like, "Wow, that was actually very good. I loved it."
Yeah.
Not expecting that. So anyway,
Yeah, also, he's done solo stuff as well. Like Book of Shadows there's a couple of them, but the first one in particular, where it's just acoustic, and I really love his acoustic kind of
mm,
stuff as well. Usually that sort of stuff bores me, but it's really good. So, yeah.
cool, good choice. All right, Mr. Keith, number 3.
Yeah, okay. They say like you shouldn't meet your heroes because like they disappoint. And Dan might remember this show. It was called Family Jewels that Gene Simmons did, a reality show. And
I'm all on DVD there. Yeah,
oh, have you?
yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but it's sort of stuck in my head. And he invited like a fan over to his house, and this guy was like just drooling over all the Kiss stuff that because Gene Simmons has got a museum in his house
Oh
that's
yeah,
full of Kiss stuff, and this guy was going through, and his eyes were that big, and he was absolutely like thrilled to be there. He was pumped to be there. He was looking at the stuff, and I want that, and sort of it just left at the end. It sort of just left a bit of a sour note because Gene was doing Gene. He wasn't really interacting much, and the guy at the end said, "Oh, you know, can we exchange phone numbers and that, and we can do a meetup?" And he just sort of stood there, no, and right, get out of my house. And it just sort of struck me like a bit wrong, and that's not sort of the interaction that I'd like to have with some of these guys.
yeah.
So I just thought it was a bit off. So my next pick was a guy that I thought would be just a cool guy and bit of a beach dude, and it's one that Dan just talked about, Sammy Hagar. I was tossing up whether Sammy Hagar or Kai Hansen, but I eventually went with Sammy Hagar. So he's 76, but just full
Mm.
of energy. Anything you see with him, he's just full of energy, and he's got just so, like you're saying, he's got so many things going. He's a pretty smart businessman, with like you're saying, the Cabo Wabo, Decatur, the nightclub. And one of the questions I would like to ask him is about his UFO experience. I know you probably
Yeah.
read about that in that
It's
book.
in the book that I just
Yeah.
showed.
And that seemed to have like a massive impact on him, and also his relationship with, of course, Eddie Van Halen. He sort of thought that Eddie was like quite non-functional at the end, and that pissed off that whole side of the family, and that was sort of a
Yeah.
rift. He put it all out there. He basically put it all out there when you read it. That's actually one of my favorite books to read. So I know if he came to my party, he wouldn't come empty-handed. With the food side of things, it'd be the top food. I'd say I'll just leave the food to you, Sammy. You wouldn't want to eat what I produce on my table,
He's a good chef
and
too.
yeah, yeah. And so you get the tequila, and he's also got that Sammy's Beach Bar rum that he's
Yeah.
starting, and I like a rum. I do like a nice rum, so I'd be really interested to sample that. And also, he's a bit of a Ferrari enthusiast. And my son's into like watching F1 racing and things on television. So I know I know Sammy's got an F1 Ferrari car. So if you could bring around that, it'd be good. And my son could just, go out and have a look at that. So yeah, I just think Sammy would be a great guy to spend a bit of time with. And he's always relaxed when you see him in interviews, and
on my definite bucket list for that. Yeah, my last one of my 5.
I love Sammy. Yeah.
Make sure you guys choose different dates then, for the dinner party. Otherwise, it's gonna be a problem.
Sorry, Keith, I'm at Dan's house today. Can't come over.
You say, I'm playing golf with Dan and Alice. Oh, okay. All right then. Fine. Okay.
All right. Okay, Kevin, number 3. I'm curious for this one here.
Okay,
Where
so
this is going.
we've got Dave Mustaine and James Hetfield sitting at the table. They've worked out all their problems. They're best of friends. They can't, be more happier that they've fixed their friendship after all these years. And then through the door walks a little Danish man named Lars Ulrich. And he just looks at them and says, "What the fuck is going on?" So I explained to Lars that we're here to heal you guys. And these two have worked out all their issues. And now we need to talk to you and get your story about why Dave was kicked out of the band, and see if you guys could help each other work through all your problems and get over it. And Lars doesn't want to do this because he's been the troublemaker probably the whole time. And then we may discuss his sound of his drums on Saint Anger, see if we can figure out why that happened. Just things like that. And I tell them that you've got to do the same as these guys and sit at the table until you've worked out all your issues and are over it. And so Lars sits at the table.
All right.
I think there's going to be a fist fight.
Well, it could happen, but we're healing right now. We're healing.
Yeah. I like how you're explaining to us exactly what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Now sit
This
down.
is how this supper is going to happen.
This is how it's going to go. Oh, by the way, I'm like the dungeon master of this. I control what's going to happen, and it's going to get a little better.
All right. Okay, good. I can't wait to see what number 4 is now. Okay, my number 3 right here. So, I've just played golf. I'm tired, so we've had a couple of drinks with Sammy. Who's going to cook the food? And this guy I actually do his recipes here at times, and I'll explain which recipe that I do. But he's known as a chef also, so he will be the one in charge of cooking here. So I'm talking about Paul Stanley from Kiss. You follow him on social media, whether you like him or not, whatever, with his opinions and all that there. I find his recipes, and I told you guys I'm a sucker for recipes, or not sucker for recipes, sucker for Rockstar stuff like booze or this or that. And Paul Stanley has published a few recipes. To this day, I still do his Brussels sprouts with dried cherries I don't do the prosciutto or whatever you want to call it there, but I put bacon on it there. It was to make his kids eat his vegetables, but actually make it taste good also. So Brussels sprouts with dried cherries, I do that very often. Never would have thought of doing it that way. It's in balsamic vinegar and all that. So yeah, he's got a good. He's been on cooking shows too, like on I forget which show it was there, but you can find it on YouTube. So yeah, in charge of supper, we will have Paul Stanley cooking us. Like on his Instagram, he's always posting. I did this on, and it's all fresh, fresh stuff there. So for someone that I've actually stolen a few recipes from, I want to taste the food from the master himself. So Paul Stanley for me will be my third choice. There you go.
Right.
All right, next one, last one, Mr. Steve.
Great. All right. So this is my final guest for my dinner party. And like Keith said, I've got some older guys coming to my party, and we know one in particular possibly is going to might not even turn up or might be a bit grumpy or whatever. So I thought, get a younger person in here. Might be have a little bit more energy. Might be a bit of fun, and also someone who I like the music that they're producing, and they must have some good stories as well. So I actually went with Wolfgang Van Halen. So he's
Wow.
got Mammoth and Mammoth, first one. They're both really good. Like I really like those albums too. Um, and he plays everything. So he's like this incredible musician. He plays everything on that album supposedly. So
Like Dave Grohl.
and yeah, I mean, and you see him in concert, and he's fantastic, right? So, yeah, I just obviously there's so much to talk to him about. His dad was Eddie Van Halen, so I mean, there's something right there. But yeah, just and he's toured with Van Halen, and then he's doing this great music at the moment as well with his band. So he seems to have a pretty good attitude. Seems a friendly enough guy. And the other thing is as well is that because I was thinking at the end of the night, it'd be great if they all got together and played. So I wanted to have my four guests. I wanted them to actually be a band, right? So I also what I did was I used AI to create like a picture of my four guests. So if I just share my screen, I think this. Oh, I can't actually do that. I can't actually do it. I might send it to you later, Dan.
Send me the picture so I'll
Yeah,
post
then you
it
can put
on
it
the
up.
yeah.
Yeah, so I AI created a little, a picture of my dinner guest. But basically, you've got Vinnie Vincent. Now, I kind of figure he's unreliable. I'm not even sure he can play. So I'm kind of he's not even in the band necessarily. Or if he wants to contribute, that's fine. But it doesn't matter. I'm not relying on him because you see, I've got Kip Winger, who can play bass and sing. Got Zach Wild on guitar. And now I've got Wolfgang, who's multi-talented, right, musician, but he can do the drums. So there we go. And so they can jam out some songs at the end of the night. So there we go. That's my band. I don't know what I'm going to call the band or what we'd call the band or whatever. Maybe I could come up and sing a little bit as well, But yeah,
I'd pay tickets to see that.
Uh-oh.
yeah, totally.
Nice.
All right, good one. Good ending too.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Keith.
Well, my last one is a 32-year-old male rock singer, and he's the son of actress Valerie Bertinelli and Van Halen guitarist Eddie Van Halen.
You're
So
stealing
just
everyone's
adding-
ideas, Keith.
Oh, yeah, I know. But when I first saw a similar thing to you, Steve, but when I first saw Valerie Bertinelli and Eddie Van Halen, it was like looking at twins. They look so similar. I thought, I don't know if anyone else thought that, but just the way they look. And so like you're saying, he's just so talented. And if Vinny dropped out, like you're saying, Wolfgang could play any part in the whole band. He started off in drums. He could play in any part. He's just a pretty versatile musician. But the first thing that I saw that sort of interested me to invite him to my party was, I don't know if you watch those visits to Amoeba Records where you get famous people and they visit that Amoeba Records over in the
What's
in
in
the
my bag?
States. Yeah, what's in my bag? That's it. Yeah, I really like those. And I clicked onto his one, and he was just such a well-spoken, intelligent guy. And I just thought from that, basically based on that, and of course his solo career, how he seemed quite a balanced guy, and what he had to say I found really interesting. So just to keep the average age down, like I was saying, keep the old man grumpiness level down, I would definitely invite him to my house. And I've listened to the Mammoth albums, and I think they're good. There's some songs on there I really like. And what I like about him also is he seems to just be following his own path, not just trading on his father's name all the time. And yeah, I just thought he'd be great to meet and just hear some of his stories, because I'm sure he'd have lots of crazy stories about life. And yeah, so that's my last choice. Wolfgang, like yours, Steve. Yeah.
Great. Well, I mean, we're in the same country, so it's not far, for him to
No.
just come down here and can
Yeah,
do go to your place on Friday night, me on Saturday night or something.
Or
You
they're
can-
gonna
I don't know if
find a
this-
loophole there and make a 8 Rockstar. Well, now it's 7, I guess. Rockstar party for those 2 New Zealand guys.
I don't know if there's any friction between him and Sammy Hagar, but I know there's some friction between him and David Lee Roth. So
So far, I think you guys are safe.
yeah.
All right,
Okay.
then. Good choice. Mr. Kevin.
All
who is
right. I
number
don't know if
4?
anyone's figured out the last one, but James Hetfield and Dave Mustaine and Lars Ulrich have all worked out their differences. They're best of friends. They're sitting at the table just laughing and, snacking on whatever I've provided. I forgot what we were eating this evening, but doesn't matter. And all of a sudden, the room gets really, really quiet. And it's almost as if in the distance you can hear the light sounds of a bass guitar, but not really loud at all. and you're not sure you're hearing it, but maybe you are. And in through the door walks Jason Newsted. I don't have an old picture of this guy, but Jason Newsted walks in, and I look at him, and I look at them, and I say, this is the most Metallica person that was ever in Metallica. Why did you guys let him go? And they're like, but and James just says, I couldn't let anybody be in another band. And I said, but you do it now, so why couldn't you do it then? And I said, well, you guys sit there and you work out your problems, and in the end, something special will happen if you guys can all be friends, forgive each other for everything that's happened in the past, and be willing to be friends forever. And so the party goes on, and they sit there and they work all their problems out, and they're all best of friends. They're talking about maybe collaborating or whatever one day. And since I'm the dungeon master of this, I snap my fingers, and down from the ceiling falls this piece of paper onto the table, and it's a contract for a new Metallica album that will be guaranteed to be the best Metallica album ever created. And every fan that loved them when they were young, that love them now, Megadeth fans, everybody that Jason Newsted's been in bands with, they will all love this band. They will go down as the greatest album ever. It will sell more copies than anything in the world. And there's a golden pin laying on the contract. And they all look at it and they notice there's only lines for 3 names. Who's going to sign the contract?
3 names.
3 names. One of them cannot be in this band. What do they do at this point? Are they going to remain friends? We'll never know.
Talk about it. Talk about an ending I was not expecting.
Yeah.
I thought about this all week.
I don't even know what to say.
I cured them, and now I've opened up something new. And I would like to see who people would say would be the 3 or the one left out, whatever they want to do.
Comment below if you actually
comments,
think who would be the 3. Yeah.
And if, let's say, they do decide and don't kill each other, maybe I'll be the other band member.
Yes, I pay ticket to see that, right?
Yeah, because I would be the worst. But it, like I said, it's going to be the best album ever. So
if you could pull that off.
I was getting pretty excited about this album. I was thinking, yeah, this is going to be killer. And then you see there's only going to be 3 of the 4. It's like, I need all 4. I'm going to have all 4 for it to be like.
Talk about a loophole and a half.
Yeah. I'm never for having a dinner that doesn't go bad, right?
Yeah. it's when you come out of those movies. What the fuck was that ending about?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
For
If you could pull that off, you'd end up on the front cover of Time magazine, and you win the Nobel Peace Prize.
yeah, but for if it was his supper was about. I had two choices in mind for his last one, and if it was about healing, I said it's either going to be Jason Newsted or one of Steve's guests, Kip Winger, if you know the story behind it.
Right.
I thought that was where you were going to go with that, but
No, I had to keep it all in the same band.
yeah, that was good. All right. Well, I don't know how I can top that, but okay. Disclaimer: this next part is just for humorous, just for comedy here. So my last guest is a woman. She hasn't written a book, so I'll have to put a picture. Same as Keith said, I did not want this to be a sausage party. Yes, we do have that expression here also in Canada. So I will go with a rock star I actually do find pretty hot right now, which is going to be the current guitarist of Vixen, Britt Lightning. Did you see the chest on her, man? It's like, wow. It's like, wow. She can play. She's great looking and all that. So something different there. Obviously, she's not in charge of food or sports or booze and all that. So here comes my big sexist comment. She can be in charge of the dishes.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
That was a joke, guys. It was a joke.
What will she be wearing then?
Okay, there's no woman watching this channel anyway. I think.
No. Our demographic is old guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all just got canceled, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway, it's a joke there, but yeah. I said, so Kevin says, I've been thinking about this all week. So have I. So, am I going to pull off this little dishes joke here without getting canceled or unsubscribed or whatever? It's a joke, guys, there. But yeah, I do find her, she's a great guitarist. Great looking too. I'm not going to hide that there. But I say, yeah, just to have a different type of rock star there, I'm going to say Britt Lightning. And of course, yeah, the picture will be already here. So yeah, that'll be my fourth choice. And there you go, Britt Lightning.
And I've seen some interviews with her. She seems really cool, like lots of fun, and yeah, should be great. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. But yeah, that's my little supper party there. All right.
Do you know much, Dan, about because I know she's in Vixen. Was she in bands previous to that? Do you know, or?
Yeah. Oh, it starts.
Probably, I guess. But...
Is it Jaded or? She was in a band before. I'm not sure if they released anything or an album, but yeah, I think it was Jaded.
Okay. I just wondered.
Vixen. Did you guys see that the current bass player Julia Lage or Lage? She just released a single with Richie Kotzen and Doug Pinnick from King's X. Really good. I was like, wow, that was a good song. Different and good. Original. Yeah.
Doug Pinnick has got to be getting pretty old.
Oh, yeah, he looks pretty old compared to the two in the video there, but he's in the video.
He was always like older than everybody when he was, young. He was always like the old guy or whatever.
But it's a great song, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a little tangent there. There's our little fun episode of Rockstar Dinner Party. And I'd like to thank you guys first of all, thank you for the idea, Steve. That was a fun time. And thank you guys for joining us here for this little Rockstar party. Some surprises. Not looking at anybody, Kevin.
Look, if I've caused anybody any distress with my situation I've left you with, please write Dan at Off the Charts, and he will take care of all your comments.
Because that email address exists, right?
Yeah, and And you know, if anyone's watching, like Miley Cyrus or Kip Winger or
Brit
Wolfgang, and
Lightning.
you actually want to come round,
Call me.
it's a
Call me.
legit
Call
invitation.
me. Yeah. Anytime.
Yeah, call us. Yeah.
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 Our
Just message Dan. He'll organize it all.
Yeah, exactly. All
The
right,
only
guys.
one
Well,
to show up is Alice Cooper.
what's that?
The only one that's going to show up is Alice Cooper.
Hopefully, that's my
Yeah.
big. It's my honest bucket list for that. So, all right. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check out our friends here, Steve from Rock and Metal Invasion. Hopefully, do this right. Keith here from Attack from Down Under, and of course Kevin at Sonic Boom TV. Check out their channels. Please subscribe to them also. Great stuff there. And we shall see you guys next episode. Take care and have yourselves a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.